Hello, my name is Robert Weeks. I'm here to present to you a possible alternative to the Microsoft Windows 10 operating system for Taters Inc. I will start by showing you the issues that we have with Microsoft Windows 10, then introduce you to the operating system of my choice along with its advantages and applications that can be used on it. I will also present a couple of issues that can go along with this operating system and end with a summarization. So, as you know, we pride ourselves on turning wholesomely good potatoes into equally delicious potato-based snacks. However, as any great company would, we must ensure that we can maximize our profits at any given time while creating products for everyone to love. Since Microsoft Windows 10 may turn into a subscription and cost us a lot more money than expected, I believe it would be best for us to consider the other options that provide the benefits of high productivity without the consequence of high costs. But first, let's talk about why Microsoft Windows 10 is not an optimal selection for Taters Incorporated. There are many issues that derive from this operating system. For instance, one of the most recent updates can cause problems with Bluetooth, audio, and connectivity. There are also issues with the graphics card drivers and system stability. Performance issues can occur, user data gets deleted, and even a blue screen of death can show up. But if that isn't bad enough, there's also wormable security flaws that can allow malicious software to spread between vulnerable computers without user interaction. The cherry on top is a subscription that can cost us anywhere between $54,000 and $308,000 annually for the 451 current employees that we have, depending on how much access to Microsoft products that you're willing to give them. However, if you're not willing to spend that much, or if you don't like the products that Microsoft Windows 10 presents, there is an alternative that can give you everything one needs to work efficiently with minimal cost. I present to you the Linux Ubuntu OS, the most popular Linux system to date. It is an open source operating system designed by voluntary developers to give an alternative to the Microsoft Windows conglomerate, making it free for everyone who chooses to use it. It works on any range of hardware on laptops and desktops, has a built-in firewall and virus protection for security, and uses an extensive number of applications that are also utilized on Microsoft Windows operating system. The Linux Ubuntu operating system can do it all for the overwhelming cost of free. For instance, one of the many utilizations of Linux Ubuntu operating systems are the applications for your everyday work activities. Imagine the need to communicate with coworkers and managing products at a moment's notice. This and more can be done with the application software on Linux Ubuntu. So let's look at some of the applications. The first application to show you is Project Libra, which is known to be the Linux equivalent to Microsoft Project. It is best utilized by the departments of R&D, main processing facility, shipping and receiving, and maybe facilities and maintenance. As its name entails, it is a free management tool to help to lay out the plan of any project that you may have. At the top, it gives you all the basic functions that any application can give you. Under the tab file, there's Open, Close, New, Save, and Save As. There are also 3 other major tabs that can help you with the functionality of the system, but you can venture into those later. The main portion of the application is split into 2 sections. The right section is the Gantt that shows you the correct timeline of the project based on the setup of the left section, which is the configuration area to list all the portions of the project that need completion. Notice that there are 4 lines that are in bold while others are not. These bold tasks are known as the major tasks. The ones underneath are the individual portions of each task. The easiest way to do this is to set up the duration on how many days are needed for each task to finish. The start and finish columns can fill out on their own. The predecessors column is to use to show each line that the task should immediately follow time-wise. For instance, we show right now that the production should start as soon as designing the new flavor is done. However, what if we wanted to wait until the testing is done first? Since the testing is line 4, We can change the predecessor for the first subtask in production to 4. Notice that everything shifts over in accordance to the new change. Also, let's say that R&D needs about 3 more days to design the new potato flavor properly. All we must do is change the number of days from 6 to 9 in the design subtask, and the timeline for every other task below shifts over. Lastly, let's say that the approval is needed before manufacturing the packaging, or potato bags, which can take a couple of days. You can add the subtask into the packaging task by highlighting the manufacturing line, right-clicking that line, and choosing New. This adds a blank line above manufacturing. For the name, you choose Approval. For the duration, you choose 2 days, and for the precedence, you type in 6, which is a line for the design. Since manufacturing cannot be started until the design is approved also, we can go into the manufacturing line and change the predecessor from 6 to 7. This will add approval to the Gantt. In addition to adjusting its current data, more columns exist to add any depth that you desire. If you right-click on any header and choose Insert Column, you can see the plethora of lists that can add to the configuration. Whenever you're finished making these adjustments, save the project and you're done. Project Lever can be a great tool to have if you're willing to learn all its capabilities and understand their functions. The next application that can be used is Flock. This is a free communication application that is similar to Microsoft Teams and is used by any department in the company. You can create your own channels or communicate with others through a group channel. The channel I'm using right now is Taters Inc. Hub. As of right now, there are 2 members in there, but the channel can handle as many people as you want to be part of it. To confirm who is a member, just click on the silhouette with the number 2 on it. To add another member, you click the plus sign that's next to it. On the right, you can view your directory and set up areas to retrieve files to instantly add to a chat. You can set up your own to-do list, notes, or anything you want. In the middle, the main area of the chat exists. There's really nothing more to do than just to send a message and wait for a response. It's no different than Microsoft Teams, texting on your phone with friends and coworkers, and adding anything else in between. The only caveat to Flock is that it gives you a 30-day trial period to see everything it can offer you before you have to pay for it. Afterwards, the cost of the user per month is as high as $8. That accumulates to over $3,600 for the entire company per month, or $43,000 per year. Compared to Microsoft Teams, which is over $9,000 a month and over $108,000 a year, Flock still stands to be more affordable. Another application to use on Linux Ubuntu is beneficial to the finance and sales departments. This free accounting management software is known as GNU Cash. Like QuickBooks, this application can do just about anything financially that you want except maintain inventory of products. You can budget your money, set up accounts to write paychecks for employees, and deal with invoices from vendors. If you set up this software properly, every penny can be accounted for. This current account setup is the Taters Inc. GNU Cash file. The top line has all the initial sections that is needed to handle the financial business of the company. One of the most important sections is the Business tab. This is where you can create your customers, vendors, and employees. Furthermore, this is also where you create new invoices, bills, and expense vouchers, aka paychecks. Once they are complete, you can choose to post them or pay them. If you look in the main portion below, you can create 5 major types of accounts. If you click on the arrow to the left of any of them, you'll see minor accounts to show where their money is actually going. For assets, there's accounts receivable and current assets, which has 3 sub-accounts of its own. Clicking on any of these selections while an account is highlighted will apply to that account. New, of course, is an exception to that rule. The totals below show the bottom line for the company combined. Right now, the company has net assets and profits of $6,897.25. But let's say that one of our customers, Food Dragon, has decided they wanted to expand their business and order an extra 10,000 bags of potatoes, our tastiest potato ring snacks, at $2.99 per bag with the 20% discount and the 2% tax. We can go to business, then customer, then new invoice. This opens a window that allows us to create an invoice for any customer that has already been created in our books. We choose the invoice ID of 000009, type in the customer as Food Dragon and hit OK. You'll see the Edit Invoice tab appear so we can put in the entry of the invoice. Thankfully, some portions are already filled in. You'll need to input the description, choose which action, which income account, the quantity of the item, and the cost of those items. In addition, you'll have to choose whether you want to give a discount of more, less, or equal to 10%, and define if the order is taxable along with the type of tax table applying different types of taxes. You can set up discounts and tax tables in this application also if you wish. Once you put in everything, you'll see that the subtotal is $26,382.35 with a tax of $586.27. If you approve, then you can choose to post or pay from the section above. However, if you want to add another item after you choose the tax table, then hit Tab and fill out that line item in the same way that you did for the potatoes. After you finish inputting the invoice to show when it's supposed to be paid, the Accounts tab will show a new asset amount of $34,679.60. The same concept is applicable to cutting checks to your employees and buying materials from your vendors. It is up to you to log everything properly so that the bottom line will be as profitable as possible. Mozilla Thunderbird is another software application that can be used under Linux Ubuntu. It is a free email service that allows you to maintain your work messages just like Microsoft Outlook does for Windows users. Thus, this tool can be used by any department in Taters Inc. In the left field, there are a standard set of email folders such as Inbox, Personal, Receipts, Unwanted, and other ones. Inbox is your default folder that all your emails will go. As you also see, there are folders that automatically contain certain emails depending on what is known as filters, or rules that move emails into folders based on their respective criteria. Notice that there is a subfolder under Inbox known as Business Emails. This is a special folder that I have filtered to allow emails from Robert Weeks to store themselves here. This is a special subfolder that I filtered to allow all emails from Robert Weeks to store themselves here. To create a folder or subfolder, right-click on the folder that you want that subfolder to be under and choose New Folder or New Subfolder. The only thing you have to do is put in the desired name and hit Create Folder. If you want to move the folder, just drag the folder to any place under the folder that you want it to be under. To set up a filter, you can go to the top right corner and click on the three lines below the Close button of the window. When a drop-down list appears, select Message Filters and then Message Filters again. A pop-up window will also show that you can create a new filter, edit an old filter, or delete a filter of your own. When you have multiple filters created, Mozilla Thunderbird will activate these folders in order, starting with the highest one. To change the order of the filters, you can highlight one of them and select one of the buttons to the right that start with the word Move. Once you're happy with the filters, you can watch as the emails filter themselves. If you set up more filters, you can structure your emails in a fashion and make your work life easier. The last application to talk about is the Linux answer to Microsoft Office, known as LibreOffice. It has Writer, which is like Microsoft Word for writing documents, like Calc, like Excel for all your data worksheets, Impress, like PowerPoint for your presentations, and Base, like Access for managing databases. However, there are a couple of other applications that are used, like Draw for graphics editing and Math for creating and editing scientific formulas, but those may not be useful for Taters. With the original for LibreOffice applications, you can save the data on Calc, then use it to create reports on Base, present your findings and suggestions on Impress, after writing them into Writer for personal documentation and reference. There is only one major difference between LibreOffice products and Microsoft Office products. One's free and the other's not. Of course, no operating system is perfect. According to Medium.com, there are a couple of issues pertaining to the changing of the newest version of Linux Ubuntu without upgrading. The login prompt has long lag times, and a limited number of tools do not come with what is known as snap packages. A snap package allows the program to be put into the Snap Store, allowing the user to be able to install those programs without the need of installing them from a website. However, all of the programs I have explained come with the snap package. In conclusion, Linux Ubuntu can prove to be a highly valuable commodity. The company is clearly willing to move to another operating system, so why not this one? It has a functionality that can make any business successful when properly used without spending a great deal of money. Although the operating system and the application software are free, for the most part you'll get far more than what you pay for. But it's up to us to figure out how to maximize this potential of this new system. And I'm confident that Linux Ubuntu will make us happier than we've ever been. My name is Robert Weeks, and this is my presentation on why we should use Linux Ubuntu operating system over Microsoft Windows 10.